As a way to discourage the criminal acts, apart from arrest and investigation of kidnap cases, some states like Anambra have resorted to destroying proceeds from the crime. For instance, in May 2017, 4 buildings, including a church said to belong to suspected kidnappers, were demolished in Anambra State. The scenario has been duplicated in Imo State, where in the same month there was a demolition of houses in Ohumba or Haji Egbema local government area of the state, allegedly belonging to notorious kidnapper John Chima alias Americana. In Lagos State, the government has taken to the passage of the anti-kidnapping bill into law, which gives death sentence to kidnappers who were involved in cases where victims die. On the private sector, Nigerians have gotten involved in providing security for their residents and offices. The demand for private security personnel and devices have increased. 10 years ago, only about 2,000 private security companies were in existence in the country, while this figure has more than tripled by 2017. In communities which are less sophisticated, the attention has turned to community members forming vigilante groups to watch their area. Kidnapping is just one of the insecurity issues in the country. Economist Bismarck Rewane calls for a wider look at the issue of security.
When Abuja Airport was closed, the total cost of the runway was $18 million. The disruption effect was about $1 billion. The people that didn't go to Abuja and people that had to go through Kaduna and the time wasted and all of that. 17 airlines refused to go to Kaduna. Only Ethiopian Airlines went to Kaduna. Total cost was about $1 billion, opportunity cost. Now, why did they not go to Kaduna? Because of fear of insecurity between Kaduna and Abuja. Fear of kidnap, fear of ransom, fear of Boko Haram, fear of terrorism, fear of robbery, fear of accidents. All of this added. So, how do you compute the financial cost? You can say that it costs $80 million to fix the runway, but to me, $1 billion in a $400 billion economy is actually about 0.25% of the GDP due to that particular. So I want you to magnify this and aggregate it across different regions of the country. How much business has been lost to the northeastern part of Nigeria, Borno, Yobe, even up to Bauchi, because of the activities of these miscreants called Boko Haram. What of in the Niger Delta? Militancy, kidnapping in Warri, Port Harcourt, Escravos, Yanagua, and all those places. So it has become an enterprise. And a lot of people are afraid to go home because of that. Now it has spread. So insecurity has become pervasive. It has become an enterprise which is rewarding, and it is also used to settle scores.
The police also calls for security consciousness in making some basic decisions.
You see where people deliberately just decided to go and build houses in the middle of nowhere. You even ask yourself, how do these people get into their houses in the first instance? And that also make policing of the areas difficult. You are living in a country that, defy every known strategies that can be put in place to police. In some other climes, you have residential areas separated from commercial centers. But you have a country, and especially Lagos, where almost every house that is built in the middle of nowhere has a shop attached to it. There are strategies used in policing residential areas. There are strategies used in policing commercial centers. But you have an admixture. It's only in this country you will see such a thing. And you wonder, why are we like this? It's also in this country you will see that what you should put last is what you put first. Under the guise that, I want to be a landlord by all means. Penny wise, pound foolish. That you just see one one place in the middle of nowhere, inside a jungle, that, no, I want to be a landlord by all means, and you've gone to put a house there. People talk about that, affordability, yes, fingers are not equal. But in some cases as well, from what we've seen, the criminal motives behind some of them, we've talked about Ikorodu now, some areas in Igando. You know, in some of the raids we carried out at Igando and some of the houses in Ikorodu, you see improvised pipe being run from NNPC pipeline to those houses. That is why we are saying that some of our people are also hands in gloves with some of these criminal elements, because those criminal elements that they are breaking the pipeline, vandalizing the pipeline, doing bunkering, these are their receivers. Some of the people, some, I'm not saying all, that build houses in some of those places went there just for the purpose of that. Some of them have those houses there. If you get in there, you don't see people living in them. You only see jerry cans loaded in the houses while they live in the town.
And the need for sharing information cannot be overemphasized.
Criminals are not more than maybe 1% of the society. They're not even up to that. So why should we allow this kind of small, infinitesimally small percentage put everybody into fear? So we want information, we want them to assist, we want them to know that is a partnership.
In some cases, you find domestic staff. Not only domestic staff, even some white-collar staff or employees. You know, they organize to kidnap because of ransom, because they know they're going to get a lot out of it. So there's need for profiling. The Nigerian police should be well equipped for profiling, and profiling should even be done freely.
Empowerment of the security agencies is another suggestion.
The federal government must do a lot in ensuring that both the formal and informal agencies, security agencies, are well trained and well equipped in order to cope up or manage the situation. You can't rule out crime. And as long as society exists, there will be crime.
There's also the call for economic solutions.
Because the economy is beginning to recover, the tendency to recruit new participants in this business. If a man has a job, you are unlikely to be able to recruit him, even though the reward from a kidnap attempt is far more lucrative than from your day-to-day job. But the risk of being caught, the risk that something could go wrong, also makes a lot of people think twice. So I think the answer to it is food security, job security, economic security, and hope. Once there's hope for the future, even if today is tough and you think that tomorrow is going to be better, you are not going to resort to desperate measures.
Sharing information with each other and with the security agencies, as well as getting more security conscious. Well, these are some of the responsibilities placed on the shoulders of Nigerians in the bid to deal with the insecurity problem. I hope you would play your part. That's it on this episode of Big Story. I'm Amy Thompson.